So then, thank you for allowing us to share this idea with you this day. There will be more on this topic in times to come as we together explore more depths about what this means to your society. But this is a good beginning. Let it sink in and allow yourselves to then begin with your questions and dialogues if you wish.
Good day, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
And thank you so much for your love and your wisdom.
It is our pleasure. Thank you for allowing us to reflect the love and the wisdom that you all contain back to you.
So I've been coming to your workshops for many years.
All right.
And listening to the CDs when I can't be here physically.
Yes.
And I've heard many people talk about hybrid children and extraterrestrial contact and things like that.
Yes.
And I'm obviously very attracted to you and your message and this energy.
Aw, shucks.
But I have no recollection, no consciousness of having had any experiences like that at all.
All right. Well, not all of you do.
Yeah, and I'm not asking for that because I just want to have what's for me.
Yes.
Not what's for other people.
Yes.
But I've also heard you recommend certain things to people. Read this book, talk to this person. So what I'm asking for, please, is if you have any recommendations, suggestions, or perhaps messages for me at this time.
You can read the book Unacknowledged.
Unacknowledged.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
See what happens.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Is that it?
That's it.
All right. Thank you.
I love you, Bashar.
Our unconditional love to you as well.
I think in one of the workshop, April has mentioned that the landing of the has been postponed for 10 years from 2035 to 2045. And what's the reason?
First of all, we said it stretched to about 2040, but it is also diminishing again as things stabilize in your general global society. The idea is, as we said, many things would change. Well, we said everything would change in your fall of 2016, which it has. And so your globe is rearranging its understanding of itself, socially, politically, economically. Many different things are now being explored and brought to the surface to examine. So the shift as it occurred in the fall of 2016 that put you in touch with understandings in a different way is responsible for stretching and shifting the time frame of open contact a little bit. But that was a temporary function. And it will come back down, snap back down to a slightly smaller window as you yourselves balance things out from the energy that you've been experiencing.
Okay, it's not that our consciousness go back, it's just temporary.
It's a temporary shift.
Okay.
A reflection of the idea of the shift that occurred.
So on Friday, I asked about my hybrid children, the message to me, and you give me the word. They give me the word petunia.
Yes, petunia.
And I do Google it, and actually they say the flower symbolize angry and hatred. I am shocked. Is this the message I'm getting, or I'm going the wrong direction?
That is not the only thing it symbolizes, first of all. And secondly, it gives you an opportunity to see how you would react to finding that out.
Okay, I don't believe that message, so I continue finding other stuff.
Yes.
Okay, so besides that word, is any other message they would like to give me?
Well, in other words, it was a test for you to see where you're at. Do you understand?
Okay.
So since you understand when you saw that it surprised you, and you recognize that it is not the vibration you're operating on,
Yes.
then it gave you an opportunity to realize that you're moving forward in an appropriate way in your own energy. Yes?
I would like to ask how many hybrid children I have. I met 2, but I feel that there are more.
There are more, but I'm not allowed to tell you how many.
Oh, okay. So
How do you feel about that?
It's okay. If I need to know, they will show up.
This is correct.
Okay.
You're doing very well, Petunia.
Oh, Thank you. So the next one, I would like to ask about the Canada economy, because seems like I think back in a few years ago, a lot of people expected there is a economy collapse.
Yes.
But seems like it never happened.
Well, it's an economy adjustment. And there will be further adjustments in your economy.
So in Canada, the real estate price going higher and higher and higher, while I'm still looking for a place to buy. So do you see there's a window it going back down?
I can't give you that information.
Oh, you cannot?
We are not allowed to do that.
Okay. So I would trust whatever happens will happen.
Trust the synchronicity to guide you. That's the only thing you need.
Okay. By the way, on Friday, you told me to give the invitation to the Jasmine's sent being.
And did you?
I did. And I strongly, verbally say it many times, and I say referred by Bashar. I'm sorry.
All right. Then see what happens.
Yes. And another question is about Hong Kong and China, because I originally come from Hong Kong.
Yes.
And I'm reading a lot of news, and I felt that a lot of Hong Kong people are miserable. And also I'm concerned about the China government and how to indeed. Do you have any insight advice to people?
You will find a great shift happening in around 2025 in that region of your planet, with an awakening that will change the political structure.
Okay. Wow, 2025.
Somewhere around there, give or take.
Hong Kong and China.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. That's all our questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bashar.
Good day to you.
I'm excited to be here. So, I'm very passionate about magic and hypnosis.
Oh, all right.
And I'm not sure where to start this sharing, but basically in 2012, I had a sort of awakening where someone helped me awaken, I guess what you would call my energetic gifts and abilities.
Yes.
And I was very easily able to perceive guides and tap into people and such things like that.
How exciting.
Very exciting. And then something happened at some point where suddenly my abilities would go up and down.
Yes.
And
it means you're progressing, getting used to a new level.
Well, what I wanted to understand was, so after a few years of that, probably in 2015,
yes,
I had connected to an aspect inside of myself that I call my magic.
All right.
And another being named Thoth.
All right.
And
actually originally pronounced Tote.
Tote, thank you for that. And I was told that I was going to be doing channelings with him and whatnot.
Oh, all right. Are you excited about that?
Extremely excited.
Oh, all right. But when will you start?
Well, it seemed to have faded away, the connection.
No. You are misinterpreting. Understand there will always be cycles to allow you to integrate and assimilate and absorb and get used to the idea of the different frequencies. But you have to take actions that allow more of the energy to come through in different ways. It's not just going to start without you taking the first step. And when you do go through this, it's not just this, it's this.
Right.
You're always going up if that's your intention to expand. So the idea is, what do you want to do with that idea? How can you use your own imagination to apply the energy that you relate to as Tote when you think of it?
I would like to just share with people and help other people ignite their gifts, which is what I'm currently doing. However, it feels like I'm using less of my potential than I was using back in 2012 when I first awakened.
But you are getting used to a level.
Got you.
It's not that you're using less of your potential, you're just not used to what you're experiencing right now, because you're experience and express things in a different way.
Understood.
Yes?
Understood.
It's like saying, well, you were proficient with one music, but now you're taking another one. And so you may feel like you're not proficient for a while, but that's just because you're getting used to learning how to play a new instrument.
That makes sense.
I know, that's why I said that.
And so you said, what are some acts to be more efficient in
yes,
this
I
work
did
with the
say
channeling?
That. So what would you like to do? How would you like to express the channeling? What's the exciting way for you?
In a similar way that you and Darryl are doing it.
Then you need to gather a group of people. You can start and actually have them ask questions. Because you see, if you're just trying to download the information for yourself, you don't have to fully go into that altered state. The altered state that you're perceiving right now with the channel only needs to happen when the ideas that we, and then the thoughts that our vibrations are composed of need to be translated into language for you. If you're just receiving information yourself, then it's just an instantaneous telepathic download.
Right.
So having someone ask a question allows you to get out of the way, and they act like a grounding circuit that literally pulls the information through you to them and grounds it like electricity. So that's a good way to practice the idea of vocal channeling if that's what you wind up being excited.
That makes a lot of sense.
Once again. Yes. Does that sound exciting?
It sounds very exciting.
Then
Well,
give it a go.
I've been doing these workshops in that way where I do conscious channeling to a degree.
That's fine. Each generation is becoming more and more conscious. That's the point, because it's develop and become your version of what you're channeling to, so that you can expand. Yes? Doesn't leave the channel out. That would be pointless, because if you don't expand, you can't bring through more things.
Absolutely.
So it works in both directions.
Are there a certain kind of people that I'm more designed to serve than others?
Won't you?
Yes.
Because synchronicity will only bring you the ones that will get what they need out of whatever it is that you're doing. So people will come believing that they can't get anything out of it, and they will leave with that same idea. But that just means you've given them what they came for, to prove that they can't get anything out of it. So you've already done your job. It's not your business what someone else gets out of the information that you share.
Perfect.
You see, we share all this information with all of you. This is who we are. This is our passion. This is our excitement. In a sense, and I know this sounds a little funny, but we don't really care whether you believe us or not, whether you apply the information or not. That's completely up to you. We are overjoyed if you do and find out that it works, but we are also overjoyed if you decide what your path is that's different from what we may think will work for you, because making your choices. And that's the whole point, is to allow you to know you are self-empowered to do so, and you don't have to listen to anybody if you don't want to, including us.
Makes perfect sense.
Once again.
May I ask 2 more questions?
Just used up one of them.
Do you have any messages and recommendations for me?
Do you think I'm black?
No, I do not. So then my final question.
Your third question? Yes.
Is something I've been wanting to understand is why hypnosis works in the way that it does in the entertainment, why I could click my fingers and make people experience hallucinations and realities, why we have that function set up.
Because technique permission slip that allows you to actually unlock from the belief system of one reality and tap into belief systems' realities.
Ooh.
That's why.
I like that.
It's very powerful in that sense.
Indeed.
And your collective conscious geared to do that. Hypnosis is one of the particular permission slips that the collective consensus consciousness can actually almost instantaneously unlock you from a belief system in one particular reality.
That's amazing. Yeah. Thank you very much, Bashar.
You are very welcome.
Bashar.
And to you, good day.
So I wanted to talk to you about places on the earth and how we can get downloads. For instance, I was in Egypt.
Yes.
I think it was,
In what area?
I went inside the king's chamber.
In Cairo.
Yes.
All right.
And I laid down in the esophagus.
Yes.
I think it was around the year 2000.
Did you have fun?
Yes.
What did you experience?
The room was humming.
Yes.
And I just kept crying and releasing.
Oh, all right.
It.
Relations. Are you having more releasing now?
Yeah. I think because I'm remembering.
Well, exactly, because remember that when you remember, you're already in the state that you were in when you had the experience. Be in that state to even remember the experience.
Right.
So you're in that state, and therefore you're now confused. That's fine.
Okay.
Yes.
So I got out of the chamber and it broke, never to be worked again.
Oh, all right.
And I was wondering what kind of downloads did I get in there?
Well, I'm pretty certain some of them have unfolded in the years hence. Are you following your passion?
Yes.
Are you feeling more freedom to choose what you...
Yes.
Those are results of that experience. Anything else?
I'm going to be in Machu Picchu this month.
Oh, well, how exciting.
Is there anything I can expect? Things to
No,
meet or see
but many
or
things will
feel
happen
or-
if you don't expect them.
Well,
If you expect, they might not happen. If you stop expecting them, a whole bunch of stuff will happen.
gotcha.
Just be there. Just be there.
Yeah, I'm just excited.
Yes, exactly. Don't want to spoil your surprise. Don't want to so just be there and see what unfolds. See what you get. I can tell you this. You will find something, an actual small object that will be an interesting permission slip for you. I'm allowed to tell you that much from someone who will be working with you there on another level.
Oh, okay.
So they're willing to give you that hint that as you walk the grounds and look around inside some of the former dwellings, you may find that has been left for you. All right?
A feather?
I'm not going to tell you what it is. And again, don't have any particular expectations as to what it is. Otherwise, you will block you to see it when you actually come across it. Because you will think, well, that's not a feather. You understand?
Yeah.
Even if it is a feather, you'll block your ability to see it.
Okay, perfect.
Have no insistence on what it. Just be there. Let it happen naturally. Let it surprise you. You'll know it when you see it.
And I'll know the connection?
You'll know it when you see it.
Okay.
I am not promising anything else that you might or might not know.
Okay.
We are only allowed to tell you that. Yes?
Yeah, excellent.
All right. And?
So I did a journey with a shaman.
Yes.
And a mentor or teacher came in, and he was wearing like skins and pretty weathered looking face.
Yes.
Black hair.
Yes.
And he made me a carved bone knife.
Yes.
Can you help me? Was that a master teacher? And what was... Okay.
Someone you have familiarity with level.
Like a parallel life?
Well,
Spirit
just
realm?
say, okay, that's good enough. There is mystery here that will unfold, but there is familiarity with that being. The being is a mentor for you, is a teacher for you. And you lots of hints, but again, don't get too crystallized in your expectations.
Okay.
But that being may have something to do with what you will experience in Machu Picchu.
Ooh. What was the carved bone knife? What is that?
It's a way of, well, I will just have to put it in this kind of colloquial language, cutting to the bone of the issue. Does that make sense? You're experiencing something that will allow you to see with cutting to the bone of the issue and not getting distracted by what the bone may be wrapped in. Cutting through things that are irrelevant to get to the heart of the matter.
Is that going to have to do with my time in the jungle medicine?
It has to do with many things. You're on a journey, a need.
Nice to meet you. I'm Yurika
Good day.
from Japan.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa. Thank
お元気
you.
ですか?
はい。最初に私は
Speak up, speak up.
I usually using Japanese, so he can.
Do you have a translator?
Yeah.
All right.
最初の2つ質問があるんですけれども、大丈夫ですか?
I have two questions. Is it all right?
Well, that was one question. So now I guess you have three. So what are the other two?
私は最初リサロイヤルさんの、コンタクトに行ったんですけれども、そこで、ハイブリッドセブンという存在を リサさんが話してたんですけれども、あまりよくわからないので、説明できますでしょうか。
She participated in context retreat by Lisa Royal this summer, and in that retreat, Lisa channeled a being called Hybrid 7. But,
Yes.
But she doesn't understand that being, so well. So do you have any idea what kind of being is this? Could you explain that?
Yes, the concept that is being referred to on your planet as Hybrid 7 is a recognition that eventually, as your species on Earth evolves, you're going to evolve into what we have called the sixth hybrid race, but then all of the six hybrid races, including us and the others, will merge eventually in the millennia to come into the seventh hybrid race. So Hybrid 7 is a symbolic energetic reflection of the ultimate hybridization, the ultimate evolution of what you now consider yourself to be as the human race. I will give you time to translate.
ハイブリッドっていうのは5種類いるんですけど、これ別にマイク入らなくていいよね。5種類いるんですけど、その5種類とあと6番目のハイブリッドっていうのがこれから地球がそうだね、日本人もいるし、で6番目のハイブリッドっていうのがこれからの地球のそのメインの存在になるんですよ。でそのこれまでに存在している5つのハイブリッドのハイブリッド種、ハイブリッドの存在とこれから未来に生まれてくるその地球のハイブリッド、6番目のハイブリッドが一緒になって、その5つのハイブリッドとあと6番目のハイブリッドが一緒になって、その7番目のハイブリッド種っていうのができるんですね。でそれっていうのはそのハイブリダイゼーションプログラムって聞いたことあります？
Did I really say all that?
I'm explaining more
Yes, I know.
concretely so that she can understand that.
Do you understand? わかりますか？少しです。
I explained just the half of you said.
All right. Well, you can explain it in more detail later. What is your next
Okay,
question?
sure. 次の質問どう何か。
次の質問は、個人セッションの時にドラゴンのことを調べた方がいいと言われたんですけれども、西洋のドラゴンと、日本をはじめとしたアジアのドラゴンの違いっていうのは何でしょうか？
She wants to know the difference of the way she wants to ask about the dragons. And so she wants to know the difference between how the dragons are told in the West and how the dragon is told in the East. There's a difference between the way the
Yes.
dragons are told.
Yes. Well, in a sense, it's a cultural interpretation.
ある意味それは文化的な意味付けの違いによります。
The idea of the dragon is a symbol of a connection to an ancient source of wisdom, an ancient source of knowledge.
ドラゴンっていうのはその古代の知恵というものを象徴している、古代の知識というものを象徴している、そういうシンボルです。
So when the energy of the dragon, which represents a higher level being, a higher level consciousness, is interpreted through physical beings on the earth, there will be filters in each culture that will interpret the symbol in the way that they need to understand it in a way that applies to their culture.
でその工事の存在をこの第三密度の世界に下ろしてくるときに、それを表すときにそのフィルターがかかるんですね。そのフィルターっていうのはその文化的にそれぞれのフィルターっていうのは違っているので、その西洋のフィルターだったら西洋の文化的なフィルターの色付けによってその工事の存在が形作られるし、で東洋だったらその東洋的な文化のフィルターを通してまた違った形でその工事の存在がI explained too much 色付けられるっていう感じなんですよ。
Well, I said a mouthful. A dragon is a representation in your reality of a higher level, multidimensional being that has many facets, and therefore, like a hologram, those facets will be seen from different perspectives, and will be represented in different ways because it is channeled through into your reality, different facets for different belief systems, different perspectives. But it all goes back to one kind of being or one level of consciousness.
ドラゴンっていうのはすごく多次元的な存在で、いろいろなその角度からそれを解釈することができるんですね。だからその一つの角度から解釈するとこういうふうに見える。でまた違う角度から解釈するとこういうふうに見えるっていうそういう違いが出てくるんですけど、でもそれは元をたどっていくとその一つの高次元の存在、一つの一なる高次元の存在なんですけど、そういうフィルターの違いによって違って見えるんです。
Does that make sense?
Make sense. ありがとうございます。Thank you so much.
はい、どういたしまして。
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
It's so nice to be in your presence again, old friend.
It is a joy for us to be in yours.
Now, my question is, can you help me get a perspective on what's going on in our crazy political system?
Yes,
You know?
I can tell you that what's going on in your crazy political system is that you are all crazy.
We are.
Now, to go into deeper detail, as we said a little while back in your terms of time, everything would change in the fall of 2016. I
Yes.
guess you now believe us.
Yes, this is our gift.
It is a gift. Because here's the way we framed it. Before that particular threshold crossing, many of you were floating down a gentle stream. Now suddenly you're hitting the rapids. Something very unexpected has happened, upset the apple cart, as you say, went in a direction you least expected. You're riding the rapids. All right, but remember this. If you learn how to maintain your balance in the rapids, you get downstream that much faster, don't you?
Yes.
So it's actually an opportunity for acceleration in the direction you actually prefer by riding the wave of what you don't prefer in a positive way. Because if something so unexpected can actually happen, anything is possible.
Yeah, okay.
And if you understand how to stay in that state, that frame of mind, that energy, and that attitude, then that wave, no matter how negative it might seem from one point of view, will push you along much faster as long as you maintain your bubble reality and contain within it the energy state that you prefer. Remember that what's happening now is literally, this is not a metaphor anymore, literally a splitting into different parallel realities.
Yes.
And so even though you might still be able to observe the other parallel realities and the people in them that might be representative of what you don't prefer, just because you can observe it doesn't mean it has any ability to affect you. It's like looking through a glass wall. You can still see it, but nothing can get through that wall to you unless you're the one that breaks the glass and says, come on in. Do you understand?
Yes.
So you're really beginning to truly see the splitting of the different parallel realities, and in the years to come, somewhere down the road, you will find less and less ability to find people in your reality that are not vibrationally compatible with your reality. But right now, it's still a mixed bag. Right now, you can still observe all the different realities that your world is splitting off into, because you still are making up your mind about what you really prefer. You're still examining all your belief systems, and you're still creating definitions and giving meaning to these things and practicing how to give the meaning that you prefer. So they're all going to still be around you, because as you expand your consciousness, remember, you're going to see more of creation, not less of it. And when you see more of creation, you have to see more positive and more negative, because then it all becomes an equally balanced choice. Just because you may choose what you prefer doesn't mean you invalidate what you don't prefer. It's an equal choice. It's an equal path. It's a valid way to go. But you can say, no thank you, without invalidating that energy, because invalidating what you don't prefer is what sticks you to it, because you're giving it more importance than it needs to have. But when it's all neutral and you say, well, you know, you are wonderful, Negative side, because you are, by contrast, showing me more clearly the positive that I prefer. Remember, you have a saying on your planet, a candlelight shines more brightly when it's surrounded by darkness. Yes?
Yes, indeed.
So if you use it that way and just keep focused on the light and use the dark to help illuminate it, to show you where that light is, then you will remain in the state of being you prefer. You will experience the things in your life that you need to experience that are correct for you. And it doesn't really matter what anyone else decides to do because they're actually not really affecting your reality. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Does that
Very
help
much.
you?
Yes, it does. It just gets so seductive sometimes
But
to
that's
react to it.
a belief. Yes?
Okay, yeah.
That's a
yeah.
belief system. If you're saying that the negative side, the dark side, is so seductive,
Well, my reacting to it.
but the mind only reacts because you believe what you believe.
Oh,
You're
okay.
giving the mind something to react to.
Okay.
Remember, there is no such thing as an emotion in a vacuum.
Yeah.
You cannot feel anything until you have a definition of it. So when you have a feeling, that's your first clue. You must be defining and labeling something in a certain way in order to have the reaction or response that you're having. Okay. You can always then backtrack from your behavior, your thoughts, your emotions to the question, what must I believe is true about myself in this situation in order to feel, think, behave the way I am?
Got it.
That will reveal the definition, and once you reveal the definition and bring it to light, then you can say, well, this makes no sense. Why am I buying into this definition? It doesn't really serve me. And then it's gone, because as soon as a definition makes no sense, you don't hold on to it. If you still do the same things, all that means is you haven't found the fundamental definition. Keep looking.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Does this help you?
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
You are very welcome.